A group of celestial beings known as the Watchers emerges as pivotal figures with far-reaching consequences within ancient mythologies. These beings have grabbed the interest of academics, theologians, and devotees of ancient mythology. The Watchers are described as fallen angels who came to Earth and interacted with people in the apocryphal book of Enoch. Their story takes place in a world where clashes between celestial creatures and earthly people finally result in a significant crisis. In this video, we delve into the captivating story of the Watchers, exploring their origins, intentions, and the repercussions of their actions. By unraveling their forbidden desires, their impact on human civilization, and the divine response they triggered, we gain insight into the complex dynamics between celestial and mortal realms. We find a story that challenges preconceived notions about the distinctions between the holy and the mortal by delving into their forbidden passions, encounters with humanity, and the results that followed. The story of the Watchers serves as a warning about the potential repercussions of deviating from divine guidance. Join me as I uncover the ancient lore surrounding the Watchers, shedding light on the significance of these economic beings and their profound influence on the world as we know it. The apocryphal book of Enoch's account of the creation and character of the Watchers provides insight into the celestial world and the part that these demons played in the history of humanity. The Watchers were a group of angelic creatures who were tasked with watching over and protecting humanity. According to ancient traditions, the Watchers lived among the celestial beings in their heavenly home, revered for their beauty, knowledge, and in-depth understanding of the cosmos. However, a need for human interaction and earthly experiences ignited within them, resulting in a disastrous choice. They decided to abandon their celestial roles and descend to Earth under the direction of their commander, Semjaza. This was an act of dissatisfaction with their status in heaven and disobedience to God. The book of Enoch states in chapter 6, verses 1 through 5, "And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Semjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. The Watchers descended upon Mount Hermon, in what is now Lebanon. They started interacting with people. Being fascinated by the beauty of human women, they desired to directly interact with humans. The Watchers were unable to resist the temptation of these women. They entered into relationships and had sex with the mortals, while disregarding the restrictions imposed by the divine rule. The activities of the Watchers revealed a hunger for experiences outside of their celestial domain and for forbidden passions. The natural divisions between the celestial and human spheres were broken down by this action, with serious repercussions for both worlds. The Watchers interacted with people in more ways other than just physically. They taught mortals secret knowledge of cutting-edge technologies, the sciences, and mystical arts. The natural order was further corrupted and distorted since these teachings were viewed as sacred and divine knowledge that humans were not meant to possess. And it was Azalel, a powerful Watcher, who went a step further and taught men how to fight, how to build weapons, and how to engage in wars with one another. The secrets of heaven, as well as the angels' hidden knowledge, were revealed from the Watchers' lips. The world descended into anarchy after such an intervention. Warfare, rape, and the hunger of the Watchers upended the delicately balanced society that they had worked so hard to create. But this was only the beginning. The sexual affairs between the Watchers and the mortal women led to the birth of the Nephilim, a hybrid race of giants. The Nephilim had exceptional physical characteristics, towering above other people and possessing great power. They were known as strong creatures that controlled their surroundings. Because of their enormous size and strength, they dominated society and ruled over regular people. They gained notoriety for their brutality, exploitation, and oppression. Enoch 7-4 records the gravity of their wickedness, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh. and drink the blood. The Nephilim's existence and the Watchers' deeds had a significant effect on Earth and human civilization. Their existence resulted in enormous difficulties and alterations that had an impact on many facets of society, spirituality, and even historical accounts. The biblical story of the Israelites' journey to take possession of the Promised Land is one noteworthy illustration of the difficulties brought on by the Nephilim. The Israelites came upon the so-called Nephilim's descendants as they moved closer to Canaan. These were known as Anakim. The Anakim were giants who lived in the area and posed a significant barrier to the Israelites' conquest. The Anakim and other Nephilim tribes' presence in the country made the Israelites feel anxious and fearful. Many people had a crisis of faith and courage as a result of hearing about their size and power, and doubted their ability to conquer the area. The Anakim came to represent the overwhelming obstacles that the Israelites would have to overcome in order to carry out their divine mission. The Watchers' influence went beyond the Nephilim's natural strength. Their dissemination of occult knowledge and mystic arts brought about the corruption of human society. As a result, spiritual rituals were distorted, power was abused, and moral principles were degraded. The Watchers taught a variety of subjects, including astrology, advanced technologies, sciences, and occult rituals. Originally intended for the celestial realm, these secrets were now in the possession of humans. Their misunderstanding and misapplication helped the rise of vice, immorality, and idolatry. The moral foundation of civilization deteriorated as a result of the Nephilim's existence and the Watchers' influence. The Nephilim's reign over humanity was marked by corruption and brutality, which resulted in a decline in morality, the dissolution of society order, and the misery of the downtrodden. The Watchers and the Nephilim's participation also put the divine plan in doubt and upset the harmony of the universe. The mixing of the divine and the human realms disturbed the natural order that God had established. The probable repercussions of their involvement and disobedience against divine authority were made clear by their conduct. The influence of the Watchers and the Nephilim extended beyond a particular era of time and place. Their presence and influence had a long-lasting impact on world mythology and ancient society. Numerous cultures have created tales and stories about enormous creatures and divine human unions, which illustrates the worldwide fascination with the hazy distinctions between the divine and the physical. The Watchers' presence and the Nephilim, their children, brought about a great deal of chaos and corruption on Earth. Divine intervention and punishment were enacted as a result of their evil nature in order to establish order, uphold justice, and purify the earth. The Book of Enoch helps us in understanding the judgment that fell upon these celestial rebels and their hybrid offspring. According to the Book of Enoch, God decided to act after observing the chaos and depravity brought on by the Watchers and the Nephilim. The divine choice was to start a catastrophic event that would be both a way of preserving the righteous and a method of punishing the fallen angels. A global flood, similar to the well-known biblical flood, was the manifestation of this divine intervention. The flood aimed to cleanse the earth of its impurity and bring creation back into harmony. The Book of Enoch, in contrast to the biblical story, places direct blame for the flood on the Watchers and their hybrid descendants. The flood was a judgment with two purposes. First and foremost, it was a strategy for getting rid of the Nephilim, the offspring of the Watchers' immortal relations with human women. The Nephilim represented the evil and the wickedness that had crept throughout the earth. With their towering stature and dictatorial control, God tried to destroy the Nephilim's influence and establish the proper order by annihilating them. Second, the flood was meant to punish the fallen angels themselves. Enoch recalls the suffering of the Watchers as they watched the earth's destruction and devastation. These disobedient beings, who had disobeyed their heavenly mission and broken celestial laws, were now facing the repercussions of their conduct. Noah and his family were selected as pious people who would be exempt from the coming judgment as the floodwaters rose. By divine guidance, Noah constructed an ark to serve as a safe haven for himself, his family, and several animals. They were protected from the destruction that would soon populate the earth due to their obedience. and dedication to divine command. For 40 days and nights, the land was entirely submerged by the floodwaters. The Nephilim and their oppressive rule, along with other evil beings, were destroyed, leaving a world free of sin for the inheritors of the righteous. The floodwaters acted as a purifying force, removing the corruption and paving the way for a new beginning. To repopulate the earth, after the deluge, Noah, his family, and the animals descended from the ark. God made a covenant with Noah, pledging never to once again unleash such a catastrophic flood on the planet. This covenant represented a fresh start, an opportunity for humanity to recover and draw lessons from the past. The flood's judgment of the Watchers and the Nephilim acts as a potent reminder of both divine justice and the result of disobedience. It emphasizes the idea that disobedience to the divine will result in punishment in the end. The flood, not only did it bring the world back into balance, but it also served as a warning to future generations about the significance of righteousness, obedience, and the repercussions of veering from the path of God. One could characterize the Watchers' nature as a complicated and multi-dimensional. Their descent to Earth and subsequent encounters with humanity signified a departure from their intended divine function as Watchers and guardians they were meant to play. The actions of the Watchers nearly destroyed the whole world, but God saved the remnant from the flood through Noah and his family, preserving them in the ark. This act was part of God's salvation plan to ensure the continuation of humanity and provide an opportunity for a fresh start after the judgment of the flood.